Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Universal Seeds, and we talk about manifesting and maybe some other stuff. Who knows where this channel is going to go, but right now we're talking about manifesting. So this video is about why you shouldn't tell people, or why you probably shouldn't tell people about your current manifestations, i.e. what you're creating, what you're shaping in the now, like what you're currently manifesting. So in most manifesting situations, you shouldn't mention to other people what you are currently manifesting. We know and we understand that the easiest and quickest manifestations happen when we have absolute belief in whatever we are manifesting, and when we believe in our worthiness to receive it. When we practice gratitude, this is also another thing that's going to help us get our manifestation very, very quickly. And also when we don't get caught up judging other people and their actions, because everybody is you pushed out. So ultimately, when you judge another, you judge yourself by the same measure, and you reject part of yourselves, and it gets all messy and gets all long. You have to do loads of deep inner work to get over it. Or you could just manifest that you have no blocks in regards to judging people when everyone's you pushed out. The easy route, path of least resistance. Let's do it. But yeah. So when you judge another person, let's just go into that a little bit more. Realistically, everybody's you pushed out, and we already know that everybody has free wills. Okay, so number 3, but we say it as in free will. So they have options, they have choices in what will or what way they can express their energy, positive, negative, and neutral. But you are the one that dictates how they're going to express that will, because they are you pushed out. So you've assumed them into being in that state, and then you're going to therefore judge them or condemn them for being in that state when you are the one who has assumed them into being in that state. Now, do you see how that comes back on you? Because you're judging yourself every time you do that, because you're the one that created it. Yeah, it gets messy. But so that's not a smart thing to do, and that really slows down and delays manifestation, and like I said, causes a whole load of problems that really don't need to be there. So really, in actual fact, when you do that, you condemn a reflection of your own mind, so therefore you condemn a part of your own self. Okay, so not judging gives us a worthiness factor that no manifesting blocks can exist with. Okay, so when you don't judge people, you're not preying other people, you're not watching what other people are doing, it's cool. You don't have any blocks in regards to your self-worth, because you're not assuming people into a state of being so that you can judge them as less than, because really you're judging yourself as less than in some way. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So the rules that we know and understand about manifesting can be pretty much read and understood in every major religion. It may, say it in certain ways, but they all state the exact same things, basically. As in, don't judge because you will be judged. You may need to translate it, but yeah, it's definitely the same secret information hidden in plain sight. Obviously, religion is a 3D system, or it's a belief system that we've created here in our 3D reality. So it has the polarity of doom and gloom and condemnation thrown into it. While telling you not to judge others, it seems really contradictory, because often these religious texts are getting you to condemn or judge yourself while reading them. So it can be a bit difficult. But most religions show the mind states. These religious texts are actually showing you what I'm always going on about, the free wills. So you'll have the polarity of the condemnation, and then you'll have the polarity of belief. And then there'll be some sort of middle ground, like some sort of angelic force that kind of just watches over things, delivers the message. Okay, so it's really not, this is how I understand it to be anyway, but it's really not a collection of stories of things that have happened. It's an evolution and a collection of things that have happened. Yeah, I suppose you could say that. But of mind state, because we know that everything starts in our mind. Our inner world reflects our outer world. So for all those things to have happened, somebody had to be thinking them. So I'll go into that a little bit more. Bear with me because it's relevant to what I'm talking about why you shouldn't tell people your manifestations, okay? So most religions show the other mind states or manifesting states that are available for us to experience in this life. One of doubt and insecurity and never knowing you're doing the right thing. And ultimately you will be punished for it, or living a life with absolute certainty and faith, knowing that you are on the right track, so much so that you are rewarded for it in life and in the hereafter. So one talks about being a good person and one talks about being a bad person. And, if you go through these religious texts, some of the stuff that the good people did, kind of it's a bit mad. You'd be like, oh, God, I didn't really think you'd be, I didn't think you'd let that one go. But, and then they're like, God knows all, like God makes his own judgments. And it's kind of like, well, damn, how do I know if I'm doing it right or not? And then you slipped into the insecurity energy. But it really is just the polarities that I've been speaking about. So praying with faith that you will receive the answer to your prayers and reminding yourself God is good and loves you when you need to strengthen your faith and when you're worried is exactly the same thing as affirming and believing your manifestation, aka your prayer, will be answered, and using your mental diet to strengthen your faith. It's exactly the same thing. You're having absolute belief and you're having absolute faith. I remember somebody told me this like a really long time ago, that like when you're in trouble, this is when I was religious obviously, when you're in trouble and when you pray, like there's certain ways that you pray. And I was like, well, don't you pray to God more humbly, like the way you're kind of taught to on that every day? And they was like, no, because when you're in trouble and you call your boys, you don't say, oh, please, like, you man, please come help me. You're just like, listen, you lot come, like, this is what's going on. So it's that same sort of having absolute certainty and faith that those people are going to come through for you, is having the same absolute certainty and faith that, if you're like religious, or the people in the religious texts, that their God was going to come through for them and smite their enemies or whatever it is. It wasn't necessarily that they were better, but their belief, their knowing, their understand and their willpower and their overall faith was just so much higher and so much stronger than the people they were, dealing with. But yeah, so, and obviously we know it's not that cut and dry. There's like always like loads of stuff that goes in with the stories and the evolution of the person and whatnot. But yeah, so, but ultimately it's all a reflection of all our minds. So it's all our evolutions. You understand? Yeah. So it's the same thing when you're praying and when you're affirming, okay? So religious text simply shows what I always say, the states of being that we experience here in the 3D, the polarity, the negative and the positive. And it's for us to really decipher through that and find the neutrality within that, because neutrality is always kind of the better option. You don't really judge or discriminate or reject. You come from a place more of unconditional love, like this is where it is, not pressed. And that's how we get our manifestations really quickly, as we know. Like we don't worry about them. So because sometimes when we're being really overly positive, then it's like, well, damn, I've been so positive, where's my manifestation? And then you get the polarity of it, because you'll feel really sad and you'll feel really down because you've been so positive. So the neutrality is always the better option. So these stories are just showing us the opposite ends of the scale in terms of vibration. Again, the neutrality, the positivity, the negativity, they're not different. They are the same, but they're the same vibration, I want to say, but they're just showing the different ends of the scale, like the different, I want to say like colours, like the way it can play out, but yeah. So it just shows us contrast in the tapestry of life. So having faith and realising that everybody really is you pushed out means when you're manifesting something and you're so far into that energy and the vibration of faith, you honestly have no desire to mention your desires to others. You just wouldn't, it just seemed really pointless. Except in a few circumstances, though, because I will go into those circumstances where you will, because you'll be like, hey, you've got a whole manifesting channel. What are you talking about, girl? Contradicting yourself, But yeah. So when people speak about the manifestations as they are creating them, sorry, I'm reading it, and I don't want to edit it. When people speak about the manifestations as they're creating them, they usually do it for reassurance or even to impress people. That is the opposite energy of the positive energy, okay? The positive energy is the giver. The negative energy receives. But the negative energy is disbelief. The positive energy is absolute belief and faith, okay? So once you've done that, you believe you're manifesting this thing, but now you need to say it to people, because really there's part of you that's feeling a little bit insecure, a little bit unsure, and now you want reassurance. As you've done that, you've just slipped into the energy of disbelief, but you haven't really realised. So you may delay your manifestation when we do things like this, okay? It happens to everybody, don't worry about it. So yeah. Like I've mentioned before, neutrality is always the one that's gonna give you the fastest results. It's like, hey, I would like to experience this thing, but I'm cool. Like right now, I'm cool. I'd like to experience this thing. If I experienced it now, I'd be happy. If I experienced it, tomorrow, a year, like it's not a worry in your mind, and it's not even like, oh, if or when. It's more like, I know I'm going to experience this thing, and it's not with that so far into the positivity that it's like, I know I'm going to experience this thing. I know it. Where's the thing? Because you're going to get the opposite. Where's the thing? It didn't show up. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, so you're just going to be cool. Like, yeah, like I know I'm going to experience it. Like, I'm not worried. I'm not pressed. I don't even need to really think about it again. It's happened. It's happening, however you want to look at it. But that's what neutrality is. It is what it is. Like, you just accept. You accept and you allow and you assume. Okay, so yeah, that's always kind of the better option for our way of life, for people who are watching this channel, for people who want to manifest and really start to shape and create their reality consciously, okay? Because you're doing it anyway, but you just may not realise that you're doing it. So, yeah, so it's better for our way of life, but in all honesty, the free wills or the free expressions of energy are all as useful and as relevant as each other. It really just depends on what you're using them for. It really just depends what outcome you want to have. So doubt is great. That energy of negativity is fantastic when it comes to something that you don't want to experience. Because once you start to doubt it and you don't believe it, that's not going to be part of your experience, because again, the negativity absorbs. It's the darkness. It's not going to come into the light. It's not going to manifest. Yeah, like even, I think a lot of people will associate negativity with like something bad or whatever. But you can positively manifest something that you wouldn't enjoy because you believed it. You understand? But if you doubt something completely, there's complete disbelief in it, you can't even give that life, because there's no energy in that whatsoever. You're not pushing, the will that you're pushing to that energy just gets absorbed into like a black hole, basically, okay? So we need doubt. Doubt repels belief. Doubt repels and belief attracts, okay? So belief will, like I said, it will give to you, and doubt will just like take from you. You won't get anything back from it. But yeah, both are completely necessary in order for the other to work. We have a law of attraction, which is the positivity that I'm talking about. And that's why people in law of attraction communities strongly say, stay positive, think positive, be happy, like all the time, because they're going off the law of attraction, but they've really forgotten the law of attraction's partner, which is the law of doubt. The two go together. Same scale. They are on, well, no, same scale. Same vibe, same, energetic principle, same. I'm seeing like a line in my mind, but they're just on opposite sides of it. So yeah, the law of attraction has really been popular, but the law of doubt hasn't been so popular. Okay, so even in circumstances like manifesting, YouTubers creating a channel to try and get everybody to believe in manifesting isn't going to result in the AdSense check that they may want. Most people want, everybody to believe them. They want to convince people, but that isn't going to work because everybody is you pushed out. So you're only really convincing yourself. And then if you don't believe what you're saying, it's going to be a bit like, why are you saying that? And you're going to doubt it. So you're going to not want people to like listen to it, or even, like I said, you doubt it. So it just goes into a big black hole of nothingness, basically. So if you know manifesting works, so everybody else is just like you. Everybody's you pushed out. I'm going to keep saying it. But you know manifesting works, but you live your life on that sliding scale between doubt, belief, and neutrality. Like, neutrality is almost like, I don't need to see proof. Whereas belief, the really strong positive energy can be like, I have such belief. Now, where is the proof? You're like, what? I believe so strongly. No, where is it? But yeah. So everybody's just like you. They're on a sliding scale just like you. And there is honestly no need to convince them of anything. There is just no need for it. If you tell people your manifestations, it should be for a belief reason, not a doubt reason. Otherwise, they have no choice but to mirror the doubt that you felt by wanting some reassurance. They will throw that shit right back at you. What do I mean? Oh, do you really think I can do it? Well, I don't actually think you can do it. I feel like maybe you need to wait another few years. Maybe you should change your job. They will throw all the shit that you've been thinking, feeling and worrying about right back at you. And, 9 out of 10 people will call them a hater. I have done. Many times. To this day, I'm trying to stop myself from doing that and not calling people haters, because they're not. They are literally just giving me what I gave them. They don't have a choice in the matter. They may think it's their own thought or feeling. It truly isn't. It's just something I've projected at them, and they've given it right back to me. So you've asked them because you had a doubt. It's the same thing about what I was saying about tarot readings. 9 times out of 10, depending on, where your energy's at, and if you have a strong enough understanding or faith or whatever. But even then, if you're in the energy of like neutrality, like that, well, it is what it is. You're not worried. Or if you go so far into the positivity, like, I believe so strongly, where is the proof? That's when you're going to get issues. Maybe when you're in the positivity, you could maybe even get a good reading. If you're not completely in that, or you keep sliding back and forth, this is when you're going to get a crap reading, because you've gone to them because you have doubt. So this is all they're going to be able to pick up and give back to you. It's the same way with people, okay? So yeah, you go for reassurance and you get shot the fuck down. This is why we really don't need to open our mouth. We should really keep our business to ourselves, It's not, I'm not saying that you can't, but I feel like you definitely would see a lot quicker results by doing that, because oftentimes when that happens, it gives us loads of stuff to work through, like, oh, why do I feel like that? Okay, I know everybody's a reflection of me, but why do I feel like I should wait 3 years? Blah blah blah. Who cares? No one cares. You don't care. You want what you want and you want it now. You don't really feel like that. It's a thought that popped up in your mind for a minute. Don't get stuck on it. Let it go, move on. But you wouldn't have to work through that if you never went and opened your mouth to the person in the first place. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, we're just trying to make it happen quick here. This is how to get a manifestation very, very quickly. So a belief reason for speaking on a current manifestation would be to boost your own belief or neutrality in the situation, i.e. saying it out loud, singing it, or telling people about it is just getting used to the feeling of that thing, and just like it being casual and just being like nothing. Like, yeah, I make 6 figures a month. You're not actually waiting for them to respond. They could literally say nothing to you and you would feel the same way that you went into that conversation. You'd have the same energy that you went into that conversation with. Or they could say something to you and you'd feel the same as if they literally said nothing. You would really feel the same way that you did before you opened your mouth to even speak to them. So that's not really, I'd call that more of a sounding board or an echo. You're just bouncing your words back at yourself, basically. But you're not doing it to be reassured because of insecurity or doubt. Well, insecurity is doubt, you know what I mean? But yeah. So people don't influence you. Your the I am influences people, creates and shapes it all. So remember that. There is no such thing in this world as an influencer unless it is I am. So, and I am, we know what I am is, who I am is. So another reason would be for fun or for entertainment. I am someone, and this was like a really funny little thing to me because, a little wordplay. And obviously people be like, oh, well, not people be like, see, the doubt, the insecurity pops up, doesn't it? But, sometimes I've had these thoughts myself, like, okay, so why is this word meaning, like, even, like free will, how it says free wills, like, as though freedom, but it's really free wills as in the number 3. And then we got the Trinity, in Christianity, and loads of others. There's just loads of things about the number 3. But anyway, like those kind of word plays, why does that happen? And it's in the English language. Like, is it still relevant? I used to think, well, is that really relevant because it's not in other languages? But yeah, it is, because I speak English. So I'm the operant power in my reality. So as long as it's relevant to me, it's relevant. So, we got to start getting used to this I am energy and like actually expressing it and understanding it. So yeah, so I am someone, and then equals the sum of 1 or sum of 1 or sum. Wait. There was another one that went with it. Yeah, the sum of 1 or sum of 1. You understand? Like the sum, as in number sum. Just did a sum and it equaled 1. Or I'm sum of 1, like the one source that we all came from. Yes, a wordplay. I love it. It does so much for me. It explains so much in these little few words. It has a lot of meaning. But yeah, so I'm someone that's completely aware of the universal laws and truth that we live by. I like to talk about it because ultimately I like the sound of my mind. I like to explore my mind. I like the little word plays. I like, expression of creativity, and ultimately, being aware or manifesting, creating our realities is the ultimate creativity that we've been gifted, which is just a beautiful, beautiful gift, and I'm personally so thankful for it. So I like to remind myself of this fact. I like to, keep myself on the scale pretty close to the neutrality as I can be, and I like to have fun while I'm doing it. I'm also interested in attracting the already created people, or however you see it, who are in alignment with my beliefs and awareness. And if I have the desire to do that, then it's there for a reason, and it's there to be believed, and it's there to be acted on. So this is why I've created my manifesting channel. There's been various different reasons or things that I've told myself as to why I'm doing it and whatever, but this is the reason I like the most. Yes, I like AdSense as well, so when we start getting these ads on these videos, make sure you watch them, make sure you click a little like and subscribe, a little a little help out the page. Okay, thank you. But that's why I'm doing it. And you'll find that people who have the most successful channels, they're not doing it to convince anybody, or not always though, because sometimes they give themselves like arch nemesis. It's really quite interesting to watch. Like they'll probably give themselves somebody to fight against, and there'll always be like this one person that has to say something negative to them, but that's only their doubt. That's just that one person's like, oh, all these people love you, but remember that one thought you had last Tuesday? Let me just remind you of it. And then they'll be like, upset with that person. But yeah, that's why I'm doing it. So remember, you don't need to convince anyone other than yourself of anything. It honestly doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, because ultimately they're going to think what you think. They're going to just reflect that shit back to you. So that goes for your SP as well. When we're manifesting an SP, we want it to happen quickly, and then we're like, why hasn't he called? Did I do something wrong? Like, where did it go wrong? I thought we was vibing. Like, what happened? He's probably thinking this. He ain't thinking none of that shit. He picked up on your doubt and your insecurity, and now he's not too sure. Sometimes like people say like, oh, I don't really know, It's not really anything about them. It's just like, I just don't know if they're right for me. You're basically telling me there is no fucking reason why you don't know whether you want to fuck with this person or not. It's just the energy that the other person is giving off to them, Or, if that's happening in your reality and somebody said that to you about somebody else, why are you doing that? Why are you letting that play? Why are you making that play out, Maybe you want that person for yourself, or, whatever. But okay, so this has been a long chat, but I've enjoyed it. So, it really only matters what you think, okay? Your SP is going to think what you think. Once your inner world holds a belief, it becomes part of your outer world. And your ability to consciously assume, accept and believe what you want about your inner world is not only completely natural, but it's so easy for you because you do it all the time. You're doing it right now. So we come to the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Support the channel. Take care. Bye.